Thanks for attending this session. Today we talk about digital payment for the new economy. I'm sure it raises some eyebrows and everyone must have their own definition of the new economy. Before we deep dive into this topic, let me introduce myself. I'm Vasily Volynsky from BPC Group. Initially, I planned to fly from Switzerland to be with you in Chisinau. Unfortunately, it was not possible due to the restrictions. Still, I'll be in Chisinau next week and we'll be happy to meet everybody in person. I have been in the paytech industry all my life, and I would like to say that I've seen and lived the transformation of our industry while working for banks and for tech companies. We are really lucky to witness exciting times of our industry transformation and be part of it. I work for BPC, a payment technology provider that serves over 350 financial institutions and in more than 100 countries with about 1,000 employees across the globe. Most of them are designing and making banking and payment solutions of today and tomorrow. We have evolved over the years in core areas which we think are driving change. From payment processing for PSPs and fintechs that we do with radar payments to urban mobility and contactless payments across smart cities. We've embraced and led the movement for a high-tech world that helps bridge real life through digital solutions. I'm not going to define what digital payments are, you know this very well. However, I will spend a bit of time on the new economy. New economy is a buzzword that we used to add in the hype of what tech companies in the 90s were promising in terms of new ways of doing business and earning a living. As originally coined, the new economy is here, with more people using technology in their daily lives. More recently, the term new economy has also been used to refer to a redesign of the capitalist system around environmental and social goals. Talking about trends and market indicators, almost faster now. We have gained years in months, and the impact of the global markets and the behaviors have been ignited in such a short period. New opportunities came up, lifestyle changes, regulatory changes, the emergence of fintech evolution. Some of these changes may disappear or vanish, and others might expand to a greater share. Hybrid, digital models, combination of digital and physical. Fintech continue to disrupt. They create healthy competition with traditional banks. They specialize in one core services or product in return driving more quality, cost efficiency as compared to full-fledged banks, which may offer a comprehensive set of products, but on downside, they compromise on core services and personalization to deliver efficient products compared to fintech specialists. This is where we need to rethink and strategize. And it is what BPC does with a product suite that meets the specific needs. Embedded finance is presenting a great opportunity where financial institutions can join hands, grab this opportunity, or be left behind. Why it's important too? Payments can be 30 to 40% of banks' operating cost base, according to a McKinsey payment report. Increasing competition from peers and new players has led to strong margin pressure, with many services becoming commodities, with price as the main distinguishing factor. This commoditization makes acquirers and processors look for new markets and merchant segments to increase scale and sustain growth and profitability. Let's look at key lessons for new payment proposition for the new economy. It's no longer about where we hold our money, but what we do with it and the value it provides. There are two categories of banks, traditional and you, fintechs, neobanks, aggregators that are entering the market that disaggregate, lend, and expand. Strong focus is on lifestyle, remote working, freelancers, and so on. Face, army, teachers, banks, all based on interest. Green for a better world, as investors are highly looking into ESG, environment, social, and governance before they open their wallets. And we're already in the economy. Are we already in the economy, or is there a new economy still to come, which will be totally cashless? There are changes in retail payments, as you know. Payments are becoming embedded within marketplaces such as Etsy and in social media feeds such as Instagram and Pinterest, freeing the merchant from having to establish its own payment acceptance capabilities. It's also separating a large body of small and mid-sized merchants from traditional payment service providers. New channels have emerged for commerce, including voice-enabled and in-vehicle commerce, adding convenience for consumers, but also adding a great deal of complexity to those organizations involved in payment processing. APIs and cloud-based platforms are making it much easier for merchants to implement a payments capability and change functionality when they need it. New entrants in the market are capitalizing on this to challenge and disrupt incumbents. Micropayment is the next big thing. Neglected by the banks, untapped, tech today can resolve these changes. Now, normally I used to ask questions to the audience. Unfortunately, I cannot do it right now. So in that case, I would have asked, do you know about tips? Do you use tips in Moldova? Okay, happily I know the answer. Yes, it's definitely in place in Moldova. And people are used to tip service employees who rely heavily on tips and missed on this revenue opportunity when cash is no longer in use. While people have historically been happy to tip in cash, the shift towards digital payments results in many customers not knowing how to tip or even whether a tip goes directly to the worker who serves them. This is where fintech is helping to transform how workers receive gratuity in the digital age. Contactless digital tipping, such as TipPay, allows customers to scan, tap, and tip faster and safer than cash. The technology often already exists within a phone instead of requiring a new app to be downloaded. The latest technology directs the individual's tip to the business bank account alongside transaction reporting. You do not need to have a bank account with the bank launching this service. All you need is a card. You can generate multiple QR codes. If you have multiple jobs, you can register the cards of your choice and anyone can tip easily. This is not an app, but a web-based application which can be deployed as a service in days. Another inspiring case is Tonic Neobank in the Philippines. First virtual bank in the Philippines, fully digital, no branches, instant account opening, virtual card instant issuing, and physical cards. They reached a record deposit of $20 million in the first months after their launch. Key concerns for Filipinos lies in the safety of their family members and community. The Philippines are known to save among their communities through the Paluwagan model, a common pot that can be used by family members or friends when necessary. Inspired by this practice, Tonic Bank is digitizing the experience and on top offering savings so that Filipinos can save and grow their money at the same time. The bank made a groundbreaking announcement with deposit interest and saving account interest through a stash account of 4 to 6% interest. And this is probably the key disruptor in the Philippines banking market, as traditional banks offer savings rates below 1%. On top of which, many of their services are paid, from dormant account to making transfer, demonstrating that, in fact, Filipinos lose money with banks instead of earning. Onboarding as a user is a process which is done in less than 5 minutes, making KYC processes quick and secure. Talking about mobile app, which plays a big role in this project, some interesting features are as follows. A user is able to register and get virtual cards used online without the need of a physical card. The app allows users to better control how they use their card and load it with the maximum desired amount. Top up using debit card by using online account from other banks or go to the nearest 7-Eleven stores. Cash out through GCash and use networks like Cebuana in InstaPay networks. Personalization and personification at its best, allowing you to upload pictures of family, friends, change colors, layouts, and so on. A customized stash to be able to save as a group of users, earning up to 5% interest rate per annum, and sending P2P transfers is just in a tap away. Still, an agent is available via chat for any customer support. Tonic will be able to add a strong asset to Philippines ecosystem, delivering the banking and payments experience the way customers want. Fast, affordable, efficient, and highly secure by keeping Tonic's fundamental goal in mind. Dream big, save bigger. Here is another story of a neobank that does things differently. Time Bank is the first bank to be issued a new banking license by the South African Reserve Bank since 1999. As the first digital-only bank in the country, Time Bank offers banking services without charging monthly fees. Many everyday banking transactions are free, and there are very low charges for other transactions, and customers can earn discounts and rewards when they use their debit card at partner retailers. The vision was to reach out to the unbanked in South Africa with a true digital banking proposition, leveraging on an original concept to get the payment instrument in the hands of the customers. Often digital banks rely on opening an account on mobile mainly and receiving a card at a later stage. And by the way, it was the previous example. Time Bank took a different approach and was looking at achieving an end-to-end onboarding from KYC verifications to the distribution of the physical card on self-service. All this takes just 3 to 5 minutes. A kiosk has therefore been designed by the bank to achieve on their vision using BPC technology with instant issuing capability. What is the result? A financial model that speaks to customers. 3.5 million customers reached in less than 2 years. It's amazing. 50% of them are women, 50% active clients. Time Bank is acquiring customers peaks of 100,000 customers per month, which makes it one of the most successful neobank in South Africa and worldwide. This is a true story that shows that even the ATM or kiosk can be turned into onboarding channels. Furthermore, the integration to the retail shops, Pick and Pay and Boxer helps with branchless activities. Customers can still deposit cash or make withdrawals while shopping directly at the point of payments. Kiosks have nothing new, but deploying kiosks faster, integrating with retailers, and instantly issuing cards made the difference for this bank. Another big topic and use case is about marketplace. A large percentage of digital commerce takes place through commerce platforms such as Shopify and BigCommerce, and on marketplaces such as Etsy. Until recently, payments were managed by a third-party provider outside the platforms or marketplace, and the merchants typically needed to establish its own payment connection with an acquirer, processor, or a payment facilitator. Nowadays, these players are integrating payments into their platforms, so merchants don't really need to establish their own relationships with an outside third party or an outside acquirer bank. Beyond payments with their platforms, some commerce platforms are allowing merchants to use their payment functionality in other apps so that Shopify merchant can use its Shopify payment capability to sell goods and service on Instagram. Key figures of Safal Fazal, our client and marketplace in India that works with agricultural sector. They reach 150 million in sales in the second year of operation and around 1 million of farmers as members. Urban mobility is another amazing use case of building impressive ecosystems. The focus here is on making the daily life easier and more convenient, really frictionless. No need to keep different payment instruments, IDs, wallets, payment instruments of your choice. QR card, mobile application, RFID, or token can be freely chosen by a customer to be used as an identifier in the transport. Special terms and incentives for passengers, fine-tuned pricing, loyalty programs, and cross-sells make such ecosystems attractive to all participants, to customers, to transport companies, operators, businesses, and administrations. As some of you probably know, together with Visa and Victoria Bank, we run a pilot project of our OCT transport solution on several bus and tram lines and the trolleybus lines in Chisinau. It is a bus line number 9 and trolleybus number 32. Probably some of you use it from time to time. I don't think quite often, to be quite honest. All pilot participants admit benefits of the open approach, even in this environment limited by the pilot project restrictions. We really hope that Chisinau Primaria that controls all city transport will sooner or later become a bit more proactive and will manage to overcome own-made bureaucratic barriers and fears and start following global trends. It has already happened in many countries in Eastern Europe, CIS, and Asia. Chisinau clearly deserves the better infrastructure and better quality of life for their people. Digital government is another way of building an ecosystem with a broad involvement of people, businesses, and the state. It deserves a dedicated discussion, and I think it can be a good topic for the next FinTech conference in Moldova. Anyway, as a FinTech, you need to start light. Today, we make possible for you to launch your own proposition by consuming what is ready and what can be white labeled. Fast deployment, efficiency on low volumes, innovation available to all players. Cloud computing allowed payment companies to shed proprietary data centers and legacy platforms. Moving processing to the cloud generally lowers costs and shortens development and implementation time. The low cost of cloud storage with offerings such as Amazon AWS and Microsoft Azure also create opportunities for startups to develop disruptive offerings on a limited budget. APIs make connecting with a third-party provider simple and fast, while little demand on companies' IT resources. They allow players to offer a variety of services without impacting legacy platforms and create opportunity for vendors to quickly deliver their products and services with minimal impact on the enterprise. That's practical what I wanted to present today. The key takeaways and opportunities out of this short session is that first, clearly we all go to digital. And we see that contactless, frictionless, instant become keywords in our current environment. Building a system is another key message of my stories, that you cannot simply create a product and start selling. Now it's important to involve different players, to work with governments, to work with consumers, to work with different businesses and partners, to be really efficient and to build a product that creates good traction on the market. From the tactical perspective, the good way to achieve it is to rely on software as a service opportunities that we and our partners offer also in Moldova, and to pay a lot of attention to so-called co-innovation when you act not on your own, but when you work together with your partners, your clients, and broader ecosystem to build innovations together. Now I want to say thank you to all of you. It was a pleasure to talk this short session. I welcome all of you to approach me directly after, or maybe next week, face-to-face in Chisinau. Also, I want to thank organizers for the invitation to talk on this great conference. Hopefully next time it will be offline and we can socialize a little bit. Also, I want to thank our local partner in Moldova, DAAC System Integrator, that helped us with organizational topics for this nice, great conference. Thank you all, goodbye, and have a good day. Ciao, до свидания.